Destiny, thank you very much. Uh, Good morning and welcome to our Together SC Power of Connection call. This is where we're talking about our member benefits, what being a part of Together SC can help your organization with. And so, to give you the high overview of who we are as an association, our mission, like all of you, your organizations have missions, so do we. And our mission is to unite, strengthen, and advance South Carolina's nonprofit and philanthropic. And the vision that we have for that is that we want to see a future where South Carolina's nonprofit organizations and their allies are integral players in successfully building vibrant, equitable communities. That's what we want to see the world look like, and that's how we're looking to get there. So we've been around for 28 years, started in 1996 with 67 charter members. We were the South Carolina Association of Nonprofit Organizations, or SCANPO, as we were called at that time. And we had our first annual conference in 1997, and now that conference brings together over 700 nonprofit and philanthropic leaders and their allies in the corporate sector, philanthropic sector, academic sector, government sector. We all come together at the Nonprofit Summit every year. That's our big event. And of course, some of y'all are going to be there, but some of y'all may not because it's sold out. And we'll talk about that in just a moment. In 2017, we rebranded as Together SC. We're celebrating 700 members at the time, and we realized that the social sector, the social good sector, was more than just 501c3 nonprofits. It was all of these different organizations and entities and companies that were supporting these nonprofits in their missions. And we wanted to recognize that it takes many different actors and many different groups in many different places to make social good happen. And today we have over 900 member organizations, and we're getting very close to celebrating 1,000 members very soon. We keep watching the little ticker go down as members join and renew. So here's our team. Our president and CEO is Karen Reardon. She joined us in October of last year, and she's based in Myrtle Beach. I'm the vice president and chief operations officer. I'm based here in Columbia. Destiny Hester, who's on the call with us, is our membership and communications coordinator. She's based in the upstate. And so if you've got any questions about renewing your membership or accessing certain member benefits, making sure you're on the newsletter, talk with Destiny and she'll get you situated. GP McLear is our Director of Public Policy and Community Engagement. He's based in the upstate as well. And so any questions you might have about the summit or about advocacy and public policy, GP is the person to talk to. Brooke Robertson, based in the upstate, is our Director of Strategic Communication and Member Experience. So she's the one who's producing the newsletter, is making sure that all the information you need to know is getting to you. Desmone White is our Program and Operations Manager. She runs our peer networks, Carolina Leadership Seminars, and any other kind of special programs that we're running at any given time. And then we also have some contractors. Heather Singleton is our facilitator for the Black Nonprofit Leaders Network. And then Charles Weathers and the Weathers Group, they run Carolina Leadership Seminars, which we'll talk about in just a minute. But this is our team, our extended team, and any of us, if you've got any questions about the things that we do, feel free to shoot us an email or give us a call. But here also is our board of directors. Together SC is an association, and our board of directors are composed of our members. And so we've got our board chair, Sean Edwards, is down in Charleston, and then our vice chair, Tamala Spann, is in the upstate. Monroe Free is our treasurer. He's also in the upstate. And Paige Stevenson is our immediate past chair. And then we've got board members from all over the state, from nonprofits all across the state. And we try to make sure that our board is as representative of our membership as possible.
Hey, Ben, I just want to point out for that
I
slide that,
saw it. I was
that
hoping no one would
Madeline is
notice.
sorry. Well, just so everybody knows, Madeline is retired from Together SC. And that's a great. I mean, she's a great part of the history. I don't mean that. Just making sure we point.
No, yes, thank you for pointing that out. I thought I had updated all of the slides, but there's always a chance to miss one, and I did. Yes, our longtime CEO, Madeline McGee, retired back in September, and she is enjoying gardening and relaxing in Charleston right now. And I thought I had taken her off the slide. Um, but our peer network, I'm sorry, our core values, which are important for understanding how and why we do the work that we do and the ways in which we do it and what we won't do, our core values influence that. And so we believe in partnering, we believe in collaboration. We don't do anything all by ourselves anywhere. We always have partners in our funders, in our members. Whenever we go to a community to have an event, we've always got local organizations alongside us to help us in that community. We don't just come into town and do our work. We believe in excellence. Good enough is not good enough for us, and so we want to make sure that what we're doing to help you is the best that we can do. And so we believe in that mutual accountability. And if we're not doing as well as you think we should be, let us know. We need that feedback in order to make sure that we are doing our work well. And we do believe in equity. We or do our best to embody and champion diversity, inclusion, and equity, and that's been a part of our makeup for a very long time. And we're not going anywhere on that, and that's all I'll say. Um, we believe in reimagining and innovation. It's funny that we adopted these core values in the face of right before the COVID-19 pandemic started. We didn't really know that that was going to happen. And then we adopted these core values as a part of our strategic plan. And then, boom, pandemic. And that really caused us to have to innovate. It caused a lot of our members to have to innovate and weather that time. And so that core value was really informative for that time in our work. And then we believe in measurable positive impact. We want to make sure that the work we're doing and the work that y'all are doing is really making a difference, and that we're evaluating everything that we do. So why does membership matter? The networking is number one. Being able to connect with nonprofit leaders all across the state who are doing work very similar to you, or even work that's very different, but they're still having the same issues of running an organization that you're having. We want to be able to make sure that you're connecting with those folks. As someone mentioned, it's kind of lonely doing this work. And so making sure that you've got a good cohort of colleagues who you can share that with is an important part of being a part of the network. And advocacy and representation. Together SC advocates on the wide sector issues. So if there's something coming down the pipe that's trying to obstruct your ability to do your work, free of undue interference, then we're involved in trying to put a stop to that. And that's a great part of our advocacy work. And our board just adopted a updated public policy agenda, which will be posted on the website. And you can see the issues that we're focusing on, issues on which we lead, issues on which we follow, and issues in which we monitor. And of course, we always try to stand behind our member organizations in the work that they're doing on advocating for their clients. Um, it's about resource sharing, the knowledge and skills and experience, and yes, grant opportunities. Anything that we know about, we try to make sure that you know about it. And we believe in capacity building. So we host professional development opportunities, mostly virtual because that's how we can get to everyone in South Carolina. but we do these opportunities all throughout the year. And it's also about visibility and credibility, knowing that you're a part of your state's principal network for charitable organizations. And you may also have an association that's related to your specific mission. SCASAD is one of those organizations that focuses on organizations doing community and economic development work. And there are other sector associations all across the state, and we do our best to support those organizations as well as the sort of wide-ranging umbrella organization. And then it's about, as I said, fundraising support. We try to make sure that you have access to professional development and fundraising, as well as funding opportunities that we know about. We make sure you know about them. Exchanging information, any kinds of opportunities for collaborative effort and initiatives, professional development, and building community in the nonprofit sector. So I'm talking about professional development networking. One of the big ways we do that is through our system of peer networks. So these are subgroups within the association that are focused on profession, that are focused on sort of who you are as a nonprofit leader, and how you can connect with your colleagues for mutual uplifting and networking and development. And so our Advocacy Allies is one of our older peer networks, and Destiny's just put the link in the chat here for you. Advocacy Allies is our peer network for public policy staff. So if you're involved in advocating at the State House or in the town hall or the county hall, you might want to join our Advocacy Allies peer network. Our Black Nonprofit Leaders Group is one of our oldest peer networks. It started about five, maybe 6 years ago. They're celebrating a big milestone anniversary. And so if you're Black or African American and you want to get together with colleagues and share experiences, that network is a great option for you. Our development peer network, if you're working in the development or friend raising side of things, you can join our development peer network. They also work closely with our Association of Fundraising Professionals chapters throughout the state. Our marketing and communications peer network is our newest one. So if you're in the telling the story side of things, I encourage you to join the marketing and communications peer network. And then we have the all of the above peer network, my favorite one, the operations peer network. That's if you're doing if you're doing finance, HR, IT, all the sort of nitty-gritty background stuff that makes things work. I encourage you to join our operations peer network. We've been kind of joking that this is the year of HR, and a lot of our topics are focused on human resources this year. And then our Volunteer Admin Alliance is getting restarted. Our friends at the United Way Association and AmeriCorps are helping us out with that. And so if you're involved in volunteer coordinating and volunteer management, the Volunteer Admin Alliance is for you. And then of course you're saying to yourself, but Ben, I'm not in a nonprofit. I'm a consultant. What do you got for me? Well, our consultant collaborative is not just a membership level, but it's a peer network unto itself. And our consultants get together every month for virtual coffee and learning from each other about how they can best serve the nonprofit sector. So all of these get together for virtual and in-person events throughout the year, but there is also online discussion groups. Now, I'm not allowed to call them lists anymore, but they do function that way. You can sign up for any or all of these, for the most part. You can sign up for these on groups.togethersc.org, and you can sort of interact with it as an online message board if you want, or you can have it set to send you an email, or a daily digest email, or an email every time somebody sends an email. However you want to receive that information, you can set it up that way. But it's a great way to interact and have the brain trust of your colleagues at your fingertips. Oh yes, well there's a slide about that. I just talked about the peer network discussion groups. So then we also have a lot of different publications and resources for our members. One big one that we did a couple of years ago is a compensation and benefits study and report. The 2022 report and data is still available if you need it. But we are working with the College of Charleston this year to release a new compensation and benefits survey that's going to happen right after the Nonprofit Summit. That study is going to come out. And we'll be encouraging all of our members to fill out that survey, give us the information so that we can then process that report, get that data back out to everybody in late spring, early summer, might be a little bit closer to fall at this point. But we're really looking forward to getting some updated 2025 numbers for you. So that you can see sort of what the averages are and what compensation and benefits looks like in your colleagues' organizations. We have an association healthcare plan. This was one of the big things that Together SC was charged with back in 1996. Have a summit, do advocacy, create an association health plan. We finally got the association health plan ticked back in 2021. We launched it, and we partnered with Blue Cross Blue Shield of South Carolina and our broker, David Slade at Marsh McLennan Agency, so that we could have some affordable healthcare options for our members. I'd say about a third of the current participating organizations in the plan. This is the first time they have ever offered health insurance coverage for their employees. And so we've got about 500 employees covered under this plan, as well as their families. We've got, I think we're up to actually like 35 or 36 participating organizations now. Our goal was to hit 500 employees by the end of this year. We hit that last year. It's the fastest growing health plan at Blue Cross Blue Shield right now, and we're very proud of that. So you may want to learn a little bit more about that if you're finding your healthcare renewal was coming in a little hot. Have a conversation with David Slade and he'll see what he can work out for you. We've got health, dental, and vision coverage under that plan from Blue Cross Blue Shield. And then we also have ancillary benefits, term life, accidental death and dismemberment, short-term and long-term disability coverage, all from Mutual of Omaha. And I'll say that when we ran those numbers for our team here at Together SC, it was very affordable, and we were actually able to offer those benefits to our employees at no cost to them. We were able to cover the whole cost of that on the organization side. So we were very excited about that. But then we also have some fee-waived retirement options from Mutual of America. So if you are looking at your retirement plans, you're looking at offering maybe a 403B plan, then you can talk with Blake at Mutual of America. He can get you set up, and that's at no cost to your organization. Now, of course, your employees will put in money, and they'll pay some administrative fees on that, but it's really not much. And then you can set up those plans for your employer match to be optional and discretionary if you want to offer an employer match a little bit later down the road. That's how we're doing it. Then we also have an employee assistance program from First Sun. Now there is an employee assistance program with the association health plan, and it is through First Sun. But if you're not quite ready for the health plan and you want the employee assistance program, you can get that from us as a separate item. It's normally $10 per employee per month, but we're able to get it to you for $3 per employee per month. So that employee assistance program includes counseling visits, up to 3 counseling visits per employee, and that can be mental health counseling, that can be life coaching, that can be financial management coaching, whatever your staff. Our friends at First Sun can connect you with them with those things. And then of course, if at the end of 3 appointments, they're like, hey, I need a little bit more of this, it's probably covered under the health plan. Then also, if you've got employees who have student loans through the federal student loan program, if they work in the nonprofit sector for 10 years, and they make 10 years worth of payments on their student loans, which I did as of a year ago, then they will be eligible for student loan forgiveness. And Savvy is our partner for that. Your employees can sign up for that program from Savvy. There's a free program and a premium program, and that helps you track your payments, helps you file the necessary forms that you need in order to get that student loan forgiveness, so that when the time comes and you hit that 10-year mark, it's an easy breeze to file the paperwork and get that student loan forgiveness from the Department of Education. Hey, Belle, go ahead.
Are those benefits a la carte, or do you have to be in the health plan to get the three below?
That's a very good question. These are a la carte.
Okay.
The health, dental, vision, and term life and all that stuff is under the association health plan. But the retirement plan, the EAP, and student loan forgiveness assistance, all of that's a la carte by itself.
Thank you.
Mhm. And we filed all of that under employee recruitment and retention, right? Because we want you to be able to recruit the top talent that you can get, and so we want to help you make employment at your organization as attractive as possible. And speaking of employment, we have a career center. We have operated online nonprofit job board for many years. I got my job on that board 12 years ago. And I hear that from folks all the time. They're like, "Oh, I got my current job on Together SC." So members are able to post one free job post per year with a coupon code. And then each post after that is $49 for a basic post. You can pay a little bit extra if you want and get some additional bells and whistles, like getting it posted to the National Job Board Network and various other places. And the system also is set up for you to manage that process if you want to use it for that. You can review resumes, you can review cover letters and applications, you can mark applicants as good to be interviewed, or mark them as, I don't think we need to worry about this one. Those sorts of things. That whole system can help you manage that process as well. And other benefits, because the list is just keeps on going. We have Board Strong. Board Strong togethersc.org is our tool for board recruitment. We've got that with our colleagues in the New York State Association. And you can, it operates a little bit like a dating site almost. Folks who are interested in serving on nonprofit boards can create profiles, tell you about their skills and experience. You don't get to see their name necessarily, but then organizations can create profiles for their opportunities for board service. And then each side, the organization and the potential board member, can see the other's profiles and say, "Ooh, I think this might be a good one. I'm going to click match." And if both sides match, then you get a notification that prompts you to look further at that, and you can then look at that person's profile and decide if you want to invite them for an interview and get them into your nominations process. So if you're looking for board members, I encourage you to check out BoardStrong. I think we've got about 70 profiles in South Carolina so far, and we're always recruiting folks to create profiles on there if they're interested in serving on nonprofit boards. And then at the summit, we're going to be launching a new volunteer SC system. We've been partnering with AmeriCorps and the United Way Association of South Carolina to revamp volunteersc.org with a whole new software, whole new system. And we're going to be making some pro level licenses for that available to the first group of members who are signing up for that. We're going to be launching that at the summit, and we'll have representatives from that software company there to answer your questions. And we'll be looking forward to rolling those tools out very soon. That platform is not only going to be a place where you can post your volunteer opportunities and what your volunteer needs, but also a place where you can manage those volunteers, count their hours, do background checks, Everything you need to do to have a good volunteer program can be run through the Volunteer SC system. And you say, well, but I want to post these volunteer opportunities on my website. I don't want to post them just on a statewide website. That's okay, because this will allow you to embed on your website just your volunteer opportunities, and it still runs through the Volunteer SC system as well. And you can, if you say, oh well, I want to run it through, but I don't necessarily want these to be public volunteer opportunities, you can do that. There's all kinds of options in this system, and I'm getting a little ahead of myself because we haven't launched it yet, but let that just tell you how excited I am about this launching very soon. We also do a board chair welcome call. So if you've got a new board chair coming on and you're like, hey, I need you to tell them some things that I don't want to tell them, then we can do that. You can schedule a call with us and we'll get on the Zoom call with you and your board chair and help talk through some things about a working relationship, and help you get settled. And they can hear sort of what it is that they need to know about being a good board chair. And we'll run through some best practices with them and help you get that new working relationship off to a good start. And then also our bi-weekly newsletter, For Good Connections. Everything you need to know about what's going on in the nonprofit sector, you can get every other Tuesday. And in fact, it just went out this morning. So if you didn't get it, let us know. We'll double check your email address and make sure it didn't go into your junk folder. If you want to add communications at togethersc.org to your contacts list, that'll help keep it out of your junk folder. And then, of course, if you've got questions, we've got answers. I hope that's not trademarked. Call, shoot us an email. And if we don't know the answer, surely we know who does and can connect you with them. And of course, we would love it if you would tell everyone that your organization is a proud member of Together SC. And you can do that with our Proud Ally for Good badge that you can download off the website and post on your website to let everyone know that you're a part of your state's network for charitable and philanthropic organizations. And so, yes, we hold an annual conference every year, usually at the tail end of February or beginning of March. This year's theme is Creating Common Ground. And I hate to say that we're sold out because I just would love for everybody to be there. I would love for the whole conference center to be full of like 2,000 nonprofit leaders from all across the state. But unfortunately, the fire marshal will not allow that. And we can't have people sitting on the floor. So we did have to limit it to a select number of folks. And we opened registration back in the fall, and those seats did fill up at the end of January. So if you got your tickets, wonderful. We look forward to seeing you at the summit. Able to get your tickets, I'm so sorry. But we're having the summit next year, March 9th through 11th, 2026. It's going to be in Greenville at the Hyatt there. Registration is going to open in the fall. So go ahead and put that ticker on your calendar now. To check back, keep an eye out on the newsletter in the fall when we launch registration for the 2026 summit, and get your tickets well in advance because it will sell out again. So I think pretty much everyone here has already joined as a member, but if you're one of the people who's sort of thinking about it, dues for our nonprofit members are based on the organization's annual revenue. So, and this is annual revenue without in-kind. So if you're an organization that relies on a lot of in-kind revenue, we understand that's not cash. It's not like you can turn it into cash and use that to pay dues. We don't count it. And so if your organization is just getting started or you're filing the e-postcard, your dues are $50. If you're filing a more intensive 990 form, you see here the scale, it scales up with your organization. So if your organization grows and you're bringing in more revenue, hurrah for everyone. Your dues will go up a little bit, but by that time you'll have the money and it'll be okay. So we've got some upcoming events. Our Black Nonprofit Leaders Network is going to be celebrating their 5-year anniversary. They're doing a little thing just before the summit at United Way of the Midlands. And so if you're a part of that network, you can sign up for that. And of course, the Nonprofit Summit is happening at the tail end of February. Our Advocacy Allies is having an advocacy huddle on March 7th. And then on March 12th, our Operations Peer Network is having a webinar on FMLA and personal leave policies. So if you're looking to redo your organization's benefits and FMLA and leave policies, join us for that and learn more. And then our marketing and communications peer network is having a webinar in March on captivating donors with storytelling. Actually, that might be the development peer network. It might be both. Sometimes they do things together. So if you're interested in learning more about that, join that call. And then further on down here in April, the Consultant Collaborative is going to have an online meeting. We'll be doing this webinar again in April as well. Our Operations Peer Network is going to have a candid conversation about audits. So if you're thinking to yourself, man, these annual audits are a pain and they're only getting more expensive, we're going to be talking about it. And our Marketing and Comms Network is going to be having a Candid Conversations event in May as well. What's not on here, but will be coming up, and you'll see that come up in May, is our annual online membership meeting. So that will be May 14th. May 14th in the morning. That will be our annual meeting, so you can learn about the state of the nonprofit sector and what's coming up at that event. And then we'll get into June with another Consultant Collaborative meeting, and we just keep on going. So that brings us to the end. Let's stop the recording. There we go.